For intermediate and advanced players, instead of cycling or exchanging on ball once the ball is passed low in a motion offense, players may also look to downpick the crease or seal the shooter instead of looking for the give and go, which is again the last look in the motion offense before carrying the ball high and shooting or making a swing pass. In this video, we will examine the seal. Coaches should first start with a demo of sealing before getting into the seal the shooter drill. A seal or screen is when an offensive player drives or engages their check back towards the goal, as they are equally entitled to the space as much as the defender. It's usually best to seal the defender's inside shoulder, especially up high, which is known as setting the edge. The player setting the seal must make it look as though the defender is preventing the offensive player from moving, which is best practice, as opposed to blatantly interfering with the defender. A good seal generally creates time and space for a teammate, especially if the ball carrier is able to successfully run their defender into the screen, allowing them to shoot over top. This happens most often up near the shooter position, such as during the delay, which is a set play with the fourth player sealing for the fifth player coming off the bench. Otherwise, a good seal or screen can also open up a lane for an off-ball cutter or a shot on the run from the ball carrier coming off the mid-boards and sweeping across the top with their check being sealed down. For the seal the shooter drill, arrange players in one or both ends of the floor depending on numbers. Have them stationed on their proper floor sides at the crease and shooter position on both sides of the floor. It is also possible to run this drill with lines at the crease and point positions, aka sealing the point. Variation number 1 is the high screen and shot. The shooters begin with the ball and start the drill on one side with a pass down to the same side crease player who pops out to receive the pass. After receiving the pass, the crease player runs up to the shooter position and the player at the shooter position seals an imaginary defender. The timing of this exchange is paramount, with the player coming over top of the seal, ideally doing so at the exact same time that the seal is getting locked in and brushing shoulders with the sealer. The crease player then takes an outside shot around or over top of the screen being established by their teammate, and it could be a set shot, a drag shot, or a sweep shot. The player sealing the defender rolls to the net and attacks the rebound in variation number 1A. Or a coach can hit them with the pass in variation number 1B, otherwise a loose ball in tight, which is variation number 1C. Both players then switch lines with the drill alternating sides each repetition. The most common error is for beginners to shoot off of their back foot while shooting, fading away from the net versus re-establishing their body momentum towards the net and stepping into their shot on their front foot utilizing a set shot, which is how beginners should be taught. In variation number 2, dummy defense is applied, which is the same as variation number 1, except a single defender is playing dummy defense at the shooter position in variation number 2A. The rotation for the drill sees players take their turn at the shooter, next playing defense, eventually switching lines to the crease position. Advance to 100% full defense in variation number 2B. Players should attempt to corral the loose ball off of the goalie if they get the opportunity, and take a shot if they get it. Variation number 3 is the off-ball skip pass. This variation starts on one side with a pass down to the crease player. The crease player pops out to receive the pass and then sends a skip pass to the far side shooter position, where the shooter seals and the off-ball crease player receives a lead pass for a screenshot. Players receiving the pass should also be flashing their stick as a good habit. Alternate this action from side to side, with players first passing and then either receiving a pass or sealing on the other side before eventually exiting the drill and switching lines. Variation number 4, the shooter-to-shooter pass, is the same as the previous variation, except the opposite side shooter sends a lead pass to the crease player as they're arriving at the shooter position, coming over top of the seal, catching and shooting around the screen as efficiently as possible. Players at the shooter position should pass, seal, then switch to the same side crease line where they ultimately shoot, and vice versa. Variation number 5 is the screen and roll, which is the same as the previous variations, except the players setting the seal or screen roll underneath towards the outside lane after holding it for 1 to 2 seconds, receiving a dump pass from the shooter who first fakes a shot. Variation number 6 is the no drops, no misses game, where for every ball that is dropped and or misses the net during the drill, players will have to sprint from one sideboard or end board to the other. For every goal that is scored, one sprint is removed from the total, with goalies having to run if the players keep their sprint total at or below 0. Variation number 7 is live 2v2, which is the same as the previous variations, except 2 players on the same side are on offense against 2 defenders, either lefts or rights. Balls start up high with a pass low and a seal at the shooter position, continuing to play 2v2 for a maximum of 10 seconds, utilizing as many seals as necessary to get a quality shot. The rotation through the drill would be the same as the previous variations, except both the shooter and crease player move to defense after taking their turn on offense. The other way to do it would be to have players start first on defense and then switch to offense, which either way makes them more tired on offense or defense. Variation number 8, 4v4, is the same as variation number 7, except it is 2 versus 2 on both sides of the floor at the same time. Repetitive seals should be encouraged by the coaches, and players are given a maximum of 20 seconds to get a quality shot, switching which side starts with balls halfway through the drill.